What's going on, folks? I'm AutoMattock, and I've been doing some research. So there's a lot of talk on Twitter today about whiff punishing, comparing this game to Street Fighter 4, sort of assessing Laura in particular about what you can react to. So what I want to focus on in this video is that idea of what is possible to react to in Street Fighter 5, and what to keep in mind is that even though you can react to something, that like your best possible reaction doesn't always mean that you're going to be able to react to all things that are possible in a given moment. But if we're going to go that route, we need to first get a baseline. We need to define what is possible for an individual to react to in the first place. So as far as myself, I've tested about a difference of 16-17 frames around that area, so approximately where I can best react to something. So if I have something that's 30 total active frames, if I subtract that 17 from it, then I have the startup of a move that I could potentially whiff punish it with under the absolute best conditions. It's not always the case that you can do that. I mean, you see even the best players miss things on reactions like an anti-air, which take much longer than my 17 or so frames that I can react to something. So I specifically want to talk about Karen because this character is notoriously known for being able to whiff punish things. Now that term whiff punishing is thrown around quite a bit, and I don't think it's fair the way we describe. I think different perspectives apply to the term whiff punishing, because if one person whiffs a button and then the other person hits them while they're in this recovery phase, you might say, oh, that's a whiff punish. But I don't think that's always the case. I think by definition, the words whiff punishing, you're hitting them. It's true. But are you doing it on reaction? That's the most important part. Is the differentiating between proactive and reactive whiff punishing. But we use this term to sort of enclose both of those ideas into one thing. But let me get back to the idea of whiff punishing and what's possible to whiff punish. So we want to look at Karen's standing roundhouse because that's being thrown around particularly today. I want to show you the data. I'm speaking slowly on purpose so I can really, teach this in a organized fashion. So Karen's standing hard kick. This is a 10 frame startup move. That's like the speed of it. Now we look over on this left column, 34. This number represents how long the total duration of the move is. So when I do this, the whole animation is 34 frames. But it takes 10 frames for me to start it and actually hit my opponent. So if we subtract these values, 34 total active frames and a startup of 10, that gives us 24, a difference of 24. Now I described earlier how, about me personally, I lie within 16 to 17 frames at best. I can whiff punish something. So this is greater than my best ability to whiff punish something. So I should be able to whiff punish this better. Well, it's not. How should I describe this? It's not the hardest thing for me to do in terms of whiff punishing on reaction. So I'll demonstrate this, and the way you can do this, I'll actually put a recording in. So I'm going to hit roundhouse and then block immediately. And then I'm going to wait for an undetermined amount of time. I'm not even going to look at the clock. And then we want to go here and now test this out. The first one, disregard it. And then now, I don't know when it's going to happen. So I want to stand at the right place. Another important factor to this exercise. Now, if I'm too far away, I'm not going to be able to whiff punish her because she's too far. Now notice... Well, I should also drive in the point that this is something I'm able to whiff punish consistently. Now notice that if I'm too far away, you can see my feet. I'm not in my neutral position. The opposing Karen has recovered from her standing roundhouse, which I failed to whiff punish, even though I know I can whiff punish it on reaction. So it's almost as if she has frame advantage in the neutral. Even more so, if she is mashing her standing roundhouse and I fail to whiff punish, she will punish me. So I'll demonstrate this. So this recording, I guess I did something earlier. So here's what we're gonna do. we're gonna have Karen mashing on standing roundhouse. Also, it's important to note that she moves forward when you're doing this. That's another contributing factor to the video of Justin versus Punk. So, if I misspace my roundhouse, and then she is mashing her standing roundhouse, I get whiff punished if I whiff. Sense up at the right space. I cannot block that. My opponent is mashing the standing roundhouse. Now, this can be done intentionally or haphazardly. I might be using something that I felt was certain, but because I misjudged the space or I timed it wrong, even though my reactions are dependable, I know that I can whiff punish this. It's within my capability. There are other factors that cause this to hit me, to deceive me. So it's like using my reactions against me. But this is intentional or non-intentional. Your opponent might have just accidentally hit roundhouse at the wrong space. So then you attempt to hit roundhouse, but you do it at the wrong space too. And then you get whiff punished. But that wasn't a whiff punish from the other character at that point. Again, they can generate the scenario. They can generate and deceive your reactions to do this. They are not whiff punishing me. They are hitting the recovery of me attempting to whiff punish them. In this situation, you'll find, I don't want a blanket statement, you'll find it often. But you get this feeling a lot, that this is unintentional neutral in Street Fighter V. So, I want to go and I want to demonstrate another normal that you might suspect that you can whiff punish it. And I want to talk about why it's not always the case. I want to go into detail about her standing medium kick. So, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to hit standing medium kick and then block immediately. Actually, I went the wrong direction. I was like, which Karen am I? I'm going to block immediately. Again, I don't know the time for this. I think that was 3. Okay. So, you need to go back to the data. We want to look at the total active frames of that standing medium kick. So now I can sort of reverse engineer in a way. And I guess that's not accurate. I can subtract what I know I'm able to react to based on the total active frames of this move. And then I can get a baseline of what moves that I could use to whiff punish it, potentially. So if we look at Karen's standing medium kick, this is 24 total active frames, 10 less than the standing hard kick. So to whiff punish a 24 total active frame move, I know that I need something that's going to be within that baseline startup of my reactions. So 24 minus that 17, approximately, gives me 7 frames. I need a 7-frame move or faster to whiff punish this. So, standing medium punch is 5 frames. That gives me a 2-frame leniency. So I should be able to whiff punish this, even though it's not the most strenuous thing for me to do with standing medium punch. Right? So if I had standing medium punch, I mean, I might actually be hitting her potentially during her recovery, but I'm not in range to do it. The move that I need to use, unless there's something else that's maybe standing hard punch. Maybe standing hard punch. Standing hard punch is 7 frames. And again, this isn't a perfect test, but it should demonstrate that I can't do it because I'm not close enough. So what this means is I have to do something else to deal with this. So you might be saying, well then why don't Karen players use standing medium kick all the time if you can't possibly whiff punish it with the tools available? The reason why is because of proactive zoning. So if I'm just hitting standing roundhouse at particular times, I could potentially crush counter for hitting standing medium kick. I don't do this intentionally. This is not a certain thing. I can do this based off of reading my opponent, their tendencies. All those things are possible. But I'm not whiff punch. This is not on reaction. I'm doing this as a deterrent to prevent my opponent from doing something which is otherwise safe in the neutral. And of course, there's other approaches to this. There's different ways. Fireballs will deal with this. There's a lot of ways a lot of ways around it. But it's the interaction. It's the interaction between these normals, what you're capable of whiff punishing and not. It seems as if when somebody, like say that's 17 frames, that's where I have to operate. But multitasking all these different normals is where the problem really exists in Street Fighter V Neutral. So because of what I can barely whiff punish and what I can't whiff punish, I have to approach zoning in a uncertain manner. So it creates a lot of haphazard activity in between that. I think that's all I really wanted to get out there. So yeah, this standing medium kick is great, but I don't have the tools to whiff punish it. But I have to do something that my opponent could whiff punish. If I did a standing roundhouse, then they could whiff punish me with their standing roundhouse. So that's really the point I want to drive. It's just not, it's not enough to say I can't react to something, because you can with a certain move. But can you multitask and react when your reaction speed is at its limits? And that's the hardest part about this game, is controlling that and really finding creative ways to neutralize the craziness of neutral. It's very difficult, and oftentimes, I guess it's up to you whether you find that enjoyable or not. So that's it for now. Let me know what you guys think about this whole process in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in. I'm AutoMattock. I hope you learned something. I already said it. I'm AutoMattock.